Hi, this is Jaira. I wanted to do a video on big churches because I hear a lot of negative things about big churches being big businesses and the pastors being pimps and the members being stupid for giving their hard-earned money to a church. And I kind of understand how people can get this misconception because when you see so much money going in an organization and the only thing you see coming out is the pastor and the Bentley and you never see where the money's going, you kind of assume that he's, basically pocketing these people hard-earned money. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it is the case because greed does consume people, but that's not always the case. And a lot of these churches support overseas churches in third world countries and other places that don't really allow them to be openly free about their religious beliefs. But my thing is, there are a lot of things that they need to do in the community that they are in that would make me be more supportive of what they do and what we as Christians stand for. One thing I think all big churches should do, the Creflo Dollar, the Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes size churches, is they should partner with smaller churches in their area, like a 30, 20 mile radius area, and help those churches as well. There shouldn't be a church 15 miles from T.D. Jakes' church that has a leaking roof and can't fix it. That just doesn't make sense to me. It should not be about whether you're listening to me. It should not be about whether you're listening to that specific pastor or your tither going to that specific organization. It should be about them coming together and us as Christians coming together and supporting each other for the same cause. Another thing I think that these churches should offer is free daycare for members and surrounding members that can't afford it. There are lots of single parents, married, unmarried, and it shouldn't matter, that would like to get back on their feet, would like to get back in the workforce, would like to go back to school, and they can't do that because some of them can't afford or do not have a steady child care facility. So I believe that should be a service that they should offer as well. One thing that they should offer too is food and clothing bank services year-round, not just around Easter, not just around Christmas. It should be a year-round service for those who need it and come in need. One big thing that they should offer, and I hear a lot of churches complaining about, our youth being corrupted by the world and all this other stuff in public schools, is they should have private Christian institutions from pre-K all the way to high school. Churches as big as T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen, many of the churches that you see on that show, Real Preachers of LA, they can afford to fund a private Christian institution for members and surrounding members to little or no cost. These churches are making around $800,000 to $1 million per month. And, as you know, churches are nonprofit organizations, so they get a lot of tax breaks, so they can afford this by far. Another thing that they should offer, and I am, from my understanding, Eddie Long's church, which I do not attend, but I've heard, offer financial services. Eddie Long's church offer an array of financial services for small businesses and cars, for those who need to get back and forth to church, things of that nature. And I believe that that's definitely necessary. But also, when you sign up to be a member of his church, I believe that you have to show your tax return or W-2 or something like that, and a paycheck stub or something, which is understandable. When you're committing to financial services of members, you want to make sure that the members are financially stable themselves, so you'll be able to provide those services. I don't know if he partners up with the local small churches, though, and that's the thing. It shouldn't just be for your members. It should be, for members of the surrounding area as well. And so I believe all churches should offer these services, and that I think will make people more understanding that maybe these guys are not just pimps collecting money. They actually want to give back to the members that help them. There's not a member in T.D. Jakes' church that should go through a foreclosure if it can be prevented. There's not a member in Creflo Dollar's church that should go through a repossession of a vehicle if it can be prevented. And so that's my thoughts on it. Everybody may not agree, but most of these churches don't offer half of the services I just named, and that's why I can't support them. Simple as that. I mean, I go to church, but I don't go to a massively large church for that reason. So, just my opinion.